Katie, do you have any regrets? We have the first look at footage from Katie's Men Tell All special. Hi guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We are so excited. The Men Tell All is right around the corner. We have our first look at video footage, but before we get into it, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, and I am joined today by Mariah Davis and Zachary Reality. You guys, it's hard to believe that we're already at the Men Tell All special. Zach, are you so excited that the time is finally here?
I love a men tell all. I love a tell all in general. I love a reunion. I love when everyone comes to confront each other. I know a lot of Bachelor Nation fans who may be like in and out of the season, that everyone tunes in for the tell all. Like, this is where we get the juice, the tea, everything that we ever wanted to know throughout the season. So I'm so beyond ready.
What about you, Mariah? Do you think it's going to be a juicy reunion, a kind of boring one? What are you looking forward to?
I feel like there's no such thing as a boring reunion. Like, I completely agree with you, Zachary. I feel like the reunion is when we kind of cut all the BS and we just get straight to the nitty gritty, whether that's like some toxic drama that went on in the house or a confrontation that we didn't see and need to see, or if it's like, I don't know, like, why didn't our love work out? Like, kind of mushy gushy sadness. So it's like we skip all of the BS gray area and just get down to the hard matter at hand. So I'm very excited for the tell all, per usual.
So not long ago, we got our first look at Katie's Men Tell All with these photos that came out online, and I think they look phenomenal. But Zach, your comparison, I need you to tell everyone watching what you compared them to because it had us rolling.
We have the watermelon emoji here. Caitlyn and Tayshia in matching pink outfits. Katie in a green look. I think she looks good. I think everyone looks good, especially Tayshia, just because I am particularly, drawn to Tayshia. She's just so beautiful. But they look like a watermelon. They don't look like Christmas. It's a whole watermelon sugar high. Caitlyn looks a little drunk in this photo, which may be possible. I really can't wait to see how they host the reunion together, because there has been a lot of criticism with them all season because they're like coming in together. They're not both talking. Like, are they going to take turns with questions? I'm really interested to see how the reunion goes down and how they do it together, because like we all know, they are probably hosting Michelle's season. I think that's been confirmed. So they must have done a really good job.
Yeah, so we do have a teaser of what we can expect from the Men Tell All. We're going to break it down, but it actually starts with a clip from my favorite Michael A, and it doesn't look too good, you guys. Let's take a look at this.
Monday, be there from the beginning.
I miss you like crazy, buddy.
Maybe Daddy don't want to see me.
A single dad struggles with a big decision.
I am at war with myself.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Well,
no.
even like before the season started, I can remember the promos of Katie in this look crying,
Mhm.
saying, maybe my person just left. So, Mariah, do you think that this is finally the moment? Because we have heard a lot of rumors that Michael A was going to self eliminate. Do you think this is where the journey ends for these two?
I do, honestly. And here's why. I mean, we've seen this clip before. I think season after season, we always get a parent that comes on and it's like a major inner battle with whether or not they stick it out, because they miss their kid, especially given his unique circumstances. So I do kind of think that he will send himself home. And that's going to be tragic because I love him. But I also kind of think, because spoiler alert, like I tune into Reality Steve. Like, I look at his Instagram and I've seen who he says is the top four or final four. And Michael was not in the final four. So I was kind of wondering, like, okay, well, is he going to send himself home? Like, what's going to happen here? I mean, there's a lot to be inferred about this promo, but I'm leaning more towards Michael leaving, which makes me so sad because I really, really love him and really love him and Katie together.
Well, that just shows you, Mariah, that Reality Steve is not always correct. But I love that you own that you look up spoilers. I personally don't look up spoilers, but they're sent to me, so sometimes I know some things. But Michael A is totally going home. Are you kidding me? This show is so predictable. I think I've been watching for 10 years, so it just gets more predictable every single year. But like, they just set this up at the teaser for him to have this like dramatic breakup so that they can have him possibly go to the Men Tell All to confront Katie, and then that will be a whole moment. This is one of the seasons, when it gets to the end of the season, they always want those emotional breakups. It becomes less about the drama and more about that. But But I'm wondering, and maybe Morgan, Michael A is in the top 4. He should have got a hometown. Did his son not want to go to the hometown? Did he not want to fly because of COVID? Did Michael A not feel comfortable with his son flying? Because if his son came to the hometown, don't you think that would give him like the reassurance he needs to go all the way to the end with Katie?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not a parent, so I haven't tapped into those emotions in my life yet, but I feel like introducing your son to a potential romantic partner is a huge deal. I don't know if he maybe didn't want to do it on national TV. Here's my thing, and this is kind of where I get hung up on this whole storyline with Michael A leaving because he misses his son. It's the final 4. It's not like, there's still 10 guys left and you're going to be waiting 3, 4, 5 weeks to see your son. I mean, how many more weeks could possibly be left in filming? It couldn't have been more than 2. So I kind of am thinking, I hate to even say that he wanted like an out, but it kind of does feel like that to me because if you've gone through the whole process and you've made it to the final 4, and you just don't have the ability to stick it out 2 more weeks. Am I the only one that thinks that that's a little strange, or am I being too critical? What do you think, Zach?
I don't know. I don't think it's strange at all. I actually think we see this every season. There's always someone at the top 3 or 4 that gets cold feet. And I think the reason for that is because that's when it gets really real. When it gets down to the nitty gritty, that's when people are like, oh my God, I'm going to have to propose in a week. I better get out of here now. I am not ready for it. So I don't think you're being too critical. I just think that this is what happens. We see it every single season.
All right, well, time will tell, and hopefully Michael A doesn't break all of our hearts, but I have a feeling that's where this is headed. Let's take a look at the next clip.
Then the men take the stage in an explosive tell-all.
By implicating no one, you implicated everyone. One of those is a lie, bro.
Okay, we have to start with Hunter's new look. Can we get a photo of that on the screen? Because, watching back this trailer, we're like, what is that, Hunter? Mariah, does this get a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Where is he rating on the fashion police scale here?
As far as like what he's wearing, I don't take issue with what he's wearing. Now the new hairstyle we kind of talked about before we started. I'm not sure if it's a glow up necessarily. Like to me it looks like he has some type of hair piece on. But I'm not trying to hate on Hunter right now. I feel bad for saying that, but I'm just going to be honest. I think normally at the tell-all, like after people get a glimpse of what they look like on TV, they're like, maybe I should change something up. I don't know. So I feel like Hunter did not glow up necessarily. He stayed the same. He didn't decline or move up. And I think that's fine. Zach, I know you have thoughts on this.
I think he looks a little bit better. I don't know. I'm kind of digging the haircut. His suit is just boring. I think sometimes guys just have really boring outfits. But Tre actually has a really colorful, fun suit. It looks like he took Hunter's suit, the suit that he wore the night he got eliminated, when everyone compared him to like a Vegas card dealer or something. So I like Tre's look, and I think Tre had a good glow up. And I'm just excited to see all the guys confront each other. But I do want to talk about Carl Morgan, so I hope that you're going to bring him up next.
Yeah, I want to talk about Aaron and Tre first, since we were talking about Tre, because even in this 10-second clip, it seems like Aaron and Tre are still the instigators of all the drama. Will they ever not have their nose in other people's businesses? I don't know why I'm just put off by it, because I feel like we don't know anything about Aaron and Tre besides the fact that they don't like this person, this person, this person, and this person. And now we're going to see them on Bachelor in Paradise. And that's always my biggest, I guess, qualm with the show, is when we don't get to know the contestants. We only get to know this, portrayed character. And I really feel that strongly with Aaron and Tre. So Mariah, what's your reaction to this clip? Do you think that they're going to continue to stir the pot at the Men Tell All?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they've been very outspoken characters throughout the entire season. Like they will say what's on their mind. They're not afraid of confrontation. In fact, I feel like they invite it a little bit too much. But during a tell-all, like we want to see that. I feel like during the actual shooting of the season, we'd all probably rather see a little less of that toxic drama. I'm speaking of my own personal experience with like Matt James this season, because it was such a distraction from any genuine connections. I don't really feel like it's been necessarily distraction in Katie's season, but I'd rather see all the drama and confrontation come out during the tell-all. So it looks like that's probably what's going to happen. I mean, Aaron is number one guy who's like going to stir the pot. I feel that's my opinion. And honestly, I'm here for it for the tell all. I think it makes for a juicy, entertaining watch.
All right,
Yeah.
Zach, you said you want to talk about Carl. My personal opinion is I feel like Carl kind of deserves some redemption. You know, everyone was all mad because he blew up the house with saying that some people were not there for the right reasons, but he ended up being right. I mean, what do you think that we're going to see from Carl, Zach?
Well, at first, I think he's lucky that Thomas became the bigger villain and the bigger target, so he kind of got off a little bit easier. I think he will, but I don't think he has any friends in the house. I don't think he has one friend in the house, one person on his side. So people are coming for him, I think, at this tell-all, and Carl's gonna have to defend himself because he just did not look good. I know he's gonna be in Bachelor in Paradise, so that will be interesting to see how that plays out. Maybe he'll have a redemption story, but he has a lot of explaining to do at the tell-all and a lot of explaining to do to Katie.
Yeah, speaking of Katie, in this third and final clip, we're starting to see more of those harder conversations where she's going to be talking to the guys who she really had strong connections with, but didn't end up making it to the final. Let's go ahead and watch this final clip.
And Katie faces her exes,
What if we had more time together?
including you know who.
Thomas.
To be unkind is a huge red flag for me.
So we'll get to Thomas in a second, but I kind of want to go in order of who we saw first. So we saw Connor B had a moment, Andrew had a moment. Mariah, we saw Katie say, you know, if we had more time. Who do you think that she was referring to when she said that?
I don't think she's referring to Andrew just because, given the last episode, she really, really struggled with sending him home. And I feel like, I mean, she pretty much invited him to actually stay on the show. So I feel like she's probably talking about Connor B here because he was really torn up about her kind of ending things. And so was she. But I feel like he's probably confronting her like, what went wrong? Why weren't you in the same place that I was? So I can see that conversation kind of aligning with Connor B rather than Andrew, just because I feel like she's probably still, or I don't know. I think she's in a happy relationship. I'd like to assume she's in a happy relationship. But I think that letting Andrew go was really, really hard for her to do. And I don't know if she was ever fully convinced that it was the right choice.
What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
that, Zach?
I mean, I think the whole if we had more time is kind of an easy cop out, but I will give it to her considering she has to give like 15 guys explanations on why the relationship didn't work out. She's probably running out of excuses. So I actually think she was maybe talking to Andrew S. just because they did need more time. It seemed like she had such a hard time sending him home, but she had to because they were going to the top 4.
Yeah, it was tough watching it back. You know, it's one of those moments where, again, with the what ifs of like, what if we had more time together? What difference would that have made?
So I think she was talking to Andrew, and I think that I don't know if things would have changed if she gave Andrew more time, but I think that if they had more time, she would have had more clarity and closure on the relationship, and maybe it wouldn't have ended as abruptly as it did.
You guys, can we just all agree that Andrew S looks so bomb right now? Like, look at him. I'm like, is he staring into my soul? Like, I just think that he looks so great. But anyways, we won't swoon over Andrew S for too long because we do have to get to Thomas. You know, we do see Katie say that being unkind is a turnoff. Everyone's saying Thomas, 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 Thomas. Do we think that she was talking about Thomas? And do you think that it's really just going to be a Thomas bashing session for an hour? Zach, what do you think?
I hope it's a Thomas bashing session for an hour. I think that he kind of deserves to get it a little bit. I mean, he really was a kind of a jerk on the show. He was a BSer. You know, nothing he said really aligned up with his actions, and he just made it too obvious that he wanted to be the next Bachelor. So I think he has a lot of explaining to do, just like Carl. And you know, this happens every season. When there is a villain, there is that one person. That person becomes like the scapegoat. People just take everything out on that one person because they're unhappy with their own season. So when you're like the villain on The Bachelor, you might not be like an actual villain, but they just make you 10 times more of a villain. So Thomas has a lot coming his way, but rumor has it he might be on Paradise this season. So, you know, just like Carl, he could have a redemption story.
Yeah, I was going to say there are rumors that he is going to be on Bachelor in Paradise. So there has to be some sort of tide change, right? Unless they really want this super evil villain to be on Bachelor in Paradise. I mean, I guess it's the same for Queen Victoria. Zach, I know that you're a stan, but I just can't get on board with Queen Bee, and that's okay. Do you think that this will kind of change, that the Men Tell All will be an opportunity for Bachelor Nation to see Thomas in a new light, to set him up to then go to paradise and maybe be a little bit more well liked there?
I don't know, because when Thomas first started coming under fire, I feel like we saw him try to backtrack and save himself, and it didn't work out because it just sounded like manipulative BS. And that's what I'm expecting from him going into the tell all. Like, I feel like it's going to be like, no, I'm actually a saint. I was so genuine. I'm so sorry that it was received that way. Like, I feel like it's going to sound like manipulative BS. So I don't know if Thomas is ever going to be back in my good graces. But I will say, much like we saw with Victoria from Matt's season, we thought that the tell all was going to be like a hardcore attack for an hour about just like all of her toxic drama on the show. And it really wasn't. It's like we got like a segment for that, and that was it. I feel like that's probably what's going to happen with Thomas. Like, this promo is making it seem like it's going to be like Thomas, 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 Thomas. But I feel like he'll get like his moment, and we're all going to talk about it and air it all out. And then it's going to be over, and we probably won't revisit it. So he may not have much time to really redeem himself. But if he goes on Bachelor in Paradise, I mean, we'll see the character that he portrays then.
Yeah. I will say this about Thomas, Morgan. I was listening to Nick Vile's podcast, and Katie still feels the same way today that she felt about Thomas on the show, because she recorded that podcast just a few weeks ago. She was saying that Thomas is just a BSer, and he just tells you what you want to hear, and he has a lot of the same pickup lines. And Katie also said that she thinks that whoever Thomas dates in Paradise is going to have to watch out. So she has not forgiven Thomas in real life. So I would be interested to see what happens when the two of them go face to face, because Katie is not going to accept a BS apology. Like, she's just not going to do that.
Oh, I know. Well, it's bound to get dramatic. Maybe the most dramatic Men Tell All ever, as they say in Bachelor Nation. Before we wrap it up, I do want to get your guys' final thoughts. So I'll go to Zach first and then Mariah. But what are we looking forward to the most? What do we expect from the Men Tell All? I expect that my one prediction is that it's definitely going to be a Bachelor audition for Andrew S.
You know, I know in my heart that everything that we had was super real, and I know what kind of person you are. I know your heart, and I know you're going to be an incredible wife and mother someday. So
I feel like whenever he left the show, that was kind of the wheels turning. You know, he was saying the right things, leaving the card. You know, it all just seemed kind of, just to get Bachelor Nation to fall in love with Andrew S. is even more. So I feel like this Men Tell All might set him up to potentially be the next Bachelor. Those are my final thoughts. Go ahead, Zach.
See, I actually think the opposite. Andrew S. has not addressed his misogynistic past tweets yet. Justin has, but Andrew S. hasn't. So I actually think that the Men Tell All is going to be an opportunity for Andrew S. to be in the hot seat and address his tweets. I actually don't think Andrew will be able to get out of this tell-all scot-free without addressing some of his past actions and, holding himself accountable. I am looking forward to seeing Tayshia and Kaitlyn and just the dynamic they bring as hosts. And then I have just had a crush on Aaron for the past week and a half. I think I just saw one meme of him and everything just changed overnight because I used to hate him so much. So I'm just looking forward to seeing Aaron, instigate some drama and, hold people accountable. And I want to see the Hunter thing play out, because that just got weird at the end, because Hunter seemed like a really great guy and he just got pitted as the villain. So I kind of want to hear what Hunter has to say.
I agree with literally all of that, except okay, so I'm not familiar with these tweets from Andrew S. And that's really disappointing. I almost don't even want to go look them up because I don't want to see him differently, because I really, really love him. And I just want to keep this perfect image of him in my mind. But I was going to say, I'm excited to see his interaction with Katie, because I did feel like there was a solid connection there. And I loved every moment that they shared together. It didn't end up working out, and that's fine. But I was interested in seeing them kind of have that reunion in that moment. I am really excited to see Tayshia and Kaitlyn, because unlike Chris, they're so drama, their reaction. We saw some of their reactions in this promo, they freak out over things. I would freak out over things, and it adds kind of a comedic relief. It's interesting to see that kind of addition into the tell-all, just because we didn't really get that with Chris. So I love them. I'm excited to see their reactions to to things. I'm excited to see all the confrontations because this is the time where people like air out their dirty laundry, like their past grievances. They want to talk about it on national television. So I'm excited for all the tea, of course, but mainly like Andrew S. and Katie, like having a reunion.
I know, right? So much to think about. I can just feel that this mental all is going to be explosive. That's all we have for you guys. And let us know in the comments what you're excited about. Are you excited about Caitlin and Tasha? Katie, is it redemption season for Hunter or Thomas? Anything you want to let us know, now is your time to do so in the comments. And make sure before you go to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation videos. And come say hi to us on our social media pages. Our handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you guys.